From this moment on, you will now be known as Sharkbait.
Sharkbait! Ooh-ha-ha!
Welcome, brother Sharkbait.
Sharkbait! Ooh-ha-ha!
Enough with the Sharkbait.
Sharkbait! Ooh, but
What's up, YouTube? This is D from Brooklyn. I'm gonna super cube you to death, man, because I am trying to move these fish in from outside, but I have not had the time to completely pull all the plants out, which makes it dang near impossible to catch all the fish. But I am catching like 5, 6, 7 here and there, and I'm bringing them in. Let me tell you, this strain of longfin leopards and the CPDs that I have outside are super strong, because when I tell you that water is about 50 degrees, I would be exaggerating. I think it's actually colder than that. So I am catching them as I can and bringing them in. And this is the excellent time to show you one of my parent fish that I happened to catch, and I'm moving inside. It is absolutely gorgeous, and a good shot of the babies there. You can see they almost have like a silvery blue eye, but they're really pretty fish, man. They don't have to be super rare to be super pretty. And this one even has such a white tinge on its outer fins that it is really a pretty fish. And I think that the babies that I have in here, I kind of spooked them because I moved some of the plants that I had. You'll see I had a nice pothos that was planted in one of my makeshift plant pots, so I brought that inside. It is rooted up. I'm just dangling the roots in the water and letting it grow out, and still deciding whether or not I want to fill this tank all the way to the top. I don't think I'm going to, because I'm really getting the vibe of the grow out of the water. As far as the height, I may raise the water a little bit more than half. It's at about half now. This is all water from outside. I'll probably raise it maybe a little bit up to here and kind of get some of those grow out orchids or something like that. I did put one of my makeshift CO2 bottles in here. What I do is I'll have to lower this, of course, into the water column. And what I'll do is I'll pump CO2 into the bottle where the gas will be trapped in the bottle. And I just believe that keeping that in the water column rather than constantly bubbling and having the CO2 dissipate into the water is a much more efficient use of CO2. So I'm going to see how that works out. I'm going to move that down basically so you can get a look at it. I guess you can see it's a DIY project. I learned from another YouTuber that was looking at a fish room. Is I have that bottle suction cupped and wrapped up to the tank. It's just a old Poland Spring water bottle cut up at the top so it can capture it. I'm going to lower that into the water. I'm going to pump some CO2 into there and then shut it off. And when the water level starts to rise up into the bottle, then I'll know that I have to pump some more CO2 in there. It's an old, efficient way of utilizing CO2, but I'm going to release these guys. The water is super cold outside. I think the little babies are really excited to see some more of their kin in there. And they had been schooling up. Now they're kind of split up because I put so much in here. And, oh yeah, you'll notice that the light is a lot different. First of all, I'm not getting so much glare because I covered up the light for the frag tank there. And secondly, okay, this is the desk lamp. I know it looks tacky, people. It looks tacky, but guess what? If it works, who cares? I'm going to get a hanging dome to kind of make it look a little more aesthetically pleasing, but this is a desk lamp. It's a regular 60-watt bulb, yellow, regular, nothing fancy, but it grows the hell out of plants. Before we had T5s, LEDs, compacts, all of that, we had light bulbs. So guess what? I'm going to see how that works. Only thing I don't like about this light is it generates a lot of heat. It's not an LED light, whereas this one that I had on for the last video is a LED. So let me pause and give you a shot of it with this light. And now I'll pause and I'll show you the other light. Okay, so I turned that one off, and now that is the LED light, which is obviously not covering as much of the tank and it's more of a whiter light, but it just doesn't cover as much of the tank. You can see there's a big shadow over here. It's a lot dimmer. I think the fish actually like it better though, because they tend to come out in the dimmer light. But I'm gonna see what I can do with that. I really like this dimming effect, but I don't think it's gonna be the best at growing plants. LEDs are efficient, but they're not always the right spectrum. So just to give you a look at what that looks like, yeah. One thing about the LED, it does look a little more with the shading, it looks a little more natural. So maybe I'll just not have a lot of plants on this side. I'll keep them on this side, or I'll get two of these. These are only 12 bucks at I think I got it from Lowe's. 12 bucks. I got a gift card for my birthday, so guess what? I'll get another one of these and I can clip them on. These clip on. That's the only good thing about these. I can put them on to look like Kessels. I'll clip one there. I'll clip one on this side. And this way it won't light the whole room. This is my man cave. That's my 60s. All my toys and figures and collectibles. But the ambient light, as you can see with this, the ambient light is always a problem in your man cave because it's very distracting and light bleeds more into the room than actually providing plant growth. So we'll see what we can do with that, but beautiful fish, man. I have the white clouds still outside, the albinos. I have some red tips. I have some fry from Molly's that I moved outside, and I have to empty the saltwater little tub outside as well. But isn't it spectacular to have a big tank and nano fish? I just want to point that out to you. You don't have to always fill every space you got with rocks and fish. You can leave it open and let it grow into itself, as Takashi Amano used to do. Let nature find its own balance instead of trying to force it. I really like the root structure and the shading. I like the shading, so maybe I will do that. I'll see how it does. If plants, and these, and I want to add, these are easy. These are Java ferns. I'm worried about this one here. What was the name of it? I'm no scientist. I'm just a regular guy. Echinodorus. Okay, it's more of like a melon plant. What we used to call a melon plant. It's kind of a sword plant, but we used to call them melon plants. I'm not sure that's going to get enough, so we'll see how that does. I didn't use any special substrate. I used soil, regular potting soil without the fertilizer. I put some fluorite crushed gravel on top of it, not the special gravel, and some river rock to give it a natural look and to give the animals some variation between the substrates and the landmass. I'm going to put some bristlenose. I have some bristlenose over here, some really tiny ones. But just to give you an idea, the natural balance of the tank. Oh, there's a good shot of the Batis there, if you can see him. There's one of them. He always comes out. The other one never comes out. So I'm going to get probably 4 of those. If I can get 3 females, I would be a happy camper. Let me focus. If I can get 3 scarlet Batis females, you guys out there, I know Dan's Fish has them. I was checking out his live stream the other guy, Dan's Fish. I'm going to order some more of the scarlet Batis for this tank. They would absolutely have a holiday in a tank this big. And the Daniels and whatever I get. I don't thinking of pistos, but I don't know if pistos can be kind of territorial. But fish like that, and I'll keep these guys as dither fish to keep the movement in the tank. You know, you love the, as small as those fry are, when you're looking at a cube, this is a 60-gallon cube. When you look in a cube like this and you can actually see fish that small moving around, it's pretty awesome because it gives you your eye something to look towards. Your eye has to find something, and you have plenty of room. You don't have to worry about fighting for space because they have plenty of room. And that's the deal. So this is D. Tell me what you think. Let me know if you like it, if I should change anything. I really do like this freaking desk lamp, the light on there. But let me see. Holy mackerel. You can see when I turn it on how bright it is. It's just such a big difference. It's really bright. It lights up the whole tank. So I don't know, man. I'm torn. But it does light up the whole back, the whole area around it. So I'd have to get like a hanging lamp, like a ceiling hanging lamp to contain some of the ambient light and just keep it in the tank. That's one thing. The LEDs, for you reef heads, my reef people out there, that is the difference between LEDs and T5. See how the LED gives you a focus light straight down? T5s shoot it throughout the surface area of the bulb, which means all the surface area of the bulb projects light and you get a much better spread, and that's why plants tend to grow a lot better under them, because you're actually providing a wider field of light. Even here, and this tank is going to be made to view from all three sides. I don't even have the aeration on. These guys are outside with a solar pump, so I'm not really worried about that. But yeah, that's the deal. I want to be able to go around every side of this tank 360 degrees and view it. Tank is about 65. If I let this light stay on for about an hour, which I'm going to do, I'm going to be very curious to see how much the temperature goes up in this tank, because I'm forcing hot lighting. I'm forcing light, heat to push down into this cube with a large air surface. I'd be really interested to see how much it heats this tank. I won't even put a heater in here. I'm not going to heat this tank, which concerns me with the scarlet batis, because they are more of a tropical fish, but this isn't heated. It's in the room temperature. So yeah, that's it. I'm going to cut it short. I'm going to cut it at that. We're at 11 minutes. I'm trying not to kill you guys. And for you saltwater people, I'm going to flash out to this. The hammer is doing lovely. I'm really peeved off. I don't know what happened with my damn frog spawn. It kind of went south. I think these mushrooms and this Xenia, I think they're really attacking it for space, because it had been kind of reclusing itself for a while, and now as I see tissue peeling off. But my toadstool is doing excellent. I'm going to have to cut this. Let me focus. I'm going to have to cut this bad boy. The Xenia is constantly being cut. You can see I removed it from the back. I got some GSP over there that kind of been fighting for space, but look how the waving Xenia even got in to my little refugium area. That's my Chaetomorpha chamber. It got in there. It grew in there, so that's kind of nuts. Pavona is a heart attack. It just croaked, so purple mushrooms are taking over. So now, thank you, pop corals. I was telling you I wanted something besides green. This pink hammer and the purple mushrooms, I really like the color. Toadstool's looking pretty good too. Toadstool's looking pretty good. Just have to keep this under control. You guys that are beginning, coral, when they grow, are a beautiful thing, but it's also a good problem because they fight for space. Chemical warfare, my friend. And that'll be it. This is D signing out. Love and life. Love, peace, and hair grease. Keep it simple. Kiss method, everybody. Do what you do. See you when I see you. Look both ways crossing the street. I'm out of here.